The first thing I did was export all my project files. Every model, every analysis, every presentation, every email thread where I'd explained methodology to Jason. I saved everything to my personal cloud, time-stamped, documented, organised by date and deliverable. Then I went back to work. Jason scheduled a team meeting for the following Monday. Strategy alignment discussion. I attended, said nothing unless directly asked a question. He presented his vision for the department, slides that rephrased my work, priorities I'd already identified, timelines I'd already proposed. He spoke for 40 minutes, mentioned my name once. Michelle will continue supporting analytical execution. Supporting. Not leading, not developing, supporting. I made notes, saved them. 2 weeks after the promotion, Jason assigned me a new project, market segmentation analysis, entry-level work, something I'd done in my first year. I need this by Friday, he said. Basic stuff, should be quick for you. I completed it in 2 days. Delivered it Thursday morning. He reviewed it in our one-on-one Friday afternoon. This is good, he said. Really solid foundational work. Foundational, as if I were a junior analyst. I nodded. Thank you. I'm going to build on this for the executive presentation next week. Understood. I left, updated my documentation, noted the pattern. 3 weeks in, I started researching the company's ownership structure. We were a mid-size financial services firm, privately held, founded 20 years ago by 2 partners. They brought in outside investors during growth phases. Current ownership, founders, 35% combined. Private equity firm, 40%. Management and employees, 25%. I checked the company's financial filings, available through state business records for private companies above certain revenue thresholds. Revenue had been flat for 3 years, profit margins declining. The private equity firm's holding period was approaching 7 years. Industry standard was 5 to 7 before exit. They'd want to sell soon. I saved the information, began monitoring industry news about similar firms being acquired. 4 weeks after Jason's promotion, I filed a formal complaint with HR. I kept it factual, professional, documented, subject, attribution concern, market expansion initiative. I am writing to request clarification regarding the attribution of work on the Market Expansion Initiative. The recent promotion announcement credited Jason Mitchell with leadership on this project. However, project records show that I developed the analytical framework, built the predictive models, and presented findings to the executive team. I have attached documentation, including project logs, file metadata, and email correspondence. I am not contesting Mr. Mitchell's promotion. I am requesting that proper attribution be established for professional development and performance review purposes. I would appreciate the opportunity to discuss this matter with HR and my former supervisor. Attachments: 47 documents. Project timeline, work logs, authorship records. I sent it at 4:47 p.m. on a Friday. Received an auto-reply acknowledging receipt.
HR responded the following Wednesday.
Thank you for your inquiry. We will review the documentation provided and schedule a meeting with you within 2 weeks to discuss. 2 weeks. Standard delay tactic. I acknowledged receipt, continued my work. During those 2 weeks, I did 3 things. First, I maintained perfect professional performance. Every assignment Jason gave me was completed ahead of schedule. Every deliverable exceeded minimum requirements. Second, I documented every instance where Jason presented my work as his own. It happened 3 times in those 2 weeks. Small things: a chart in an email to executives, a methodology recommendation in a client call, an efficiency improvement he claimed to have identified. I saved each instance, noted the date, filed it. Third, I contacted my family's attorney. My grandmother had passed away 6 months earlier. Her estate was being settled. I was the primary beneficiary. The amount? $840,000. I asked the attorney about investment options for that sum, specifically private equity investments or business acquisitions. He referred me to a colleague who specialized in leveraged buyouts. The HR meeting happened on day 16. Present, me, HR director named Sandra, Jason, our former department head, Marcus. Sandra started. We've reviewed the documentation you provided regarding the Market Expansion Initiative. Can you walk us through your concern? The project announcement attributed work I performed to Jason. I'm requesting correction for my professional record. Jason spoke. Michelle was definitely involved in the project. She did great analytical work. But the strategic vision and client presentation were my responsibility. I opened my laptop, pulled up the executive presentation deck, showed the metadata. Author, Michelle Porter. Created 7 months ago. Last modified by Jason Mitchell, 1 week before the announcement. This is the deck presented to executives, I said. I created it. Jason edited slides 13 and 14 for formatting. That's documented in the version history. Marcus looked uncomfortable. Sandra made notes. The project logs show 847 hours under my name, I continued. 34 under Jason's. The analytical framework, predictive models, and strategic recommendations all have my authorship. Jason's expression hardened. The hours don't tell the full story. I was providing strategic oversight. That's not captured in time logs. Do you have documentation of that oversight? Meeting notes? Strategy memos? Direction you provided? Silence. Sandra intervened. Let's take a step back. Michelle, what outcome are you seeking? Correction of the record. My performance review should reflect my leadership on this project. The announcement should be amended to acknowledge my contribution. She made more notes. We'll review this further and provide a response within 10 business days. The meeting ended after 43 minutes. I left the building. Went directly to meet with the leveraged buyout specialist. His name was Richard Chen. I explained my situation, the company, the ownership structure, the private equity timeline, my available capital. $840,000 isn't enough for a majority stake, he said, but it could be enough for a meaningful position if the PE firm is looking to exit. What would I need? For a controlling stake, 2 to 3 million minimum, but you could structure it creatively. Management buyout with investor backing. You'd need to demonstrate value as the acquiring manager. I've been with the company 3 years, senior analyst, led their highest performing strategic initiative. That helps, but you'd need more. Industry connections, client relationships, demonstrated ability to run operations. I thought about it. What if I left and took clients with me? Non-compete? Standard 12 months, but our clients are institutional. They contract with firms, not individuals. If I started my own firm, I couldn't solicit. But if I acquired this firm, there's no solicitation issue. He leaned back. That's interesting. You'd be buying the company that employs you. After I leave, during the transition period. You'd need timing. The PE firm would need to be actively seeking exit. You'd need to be positioned as a credible buyer. I have $840,000 to demonstrate commitment. I have deep knowledge of operations. I have the project history to show value creation. It's viable, but you'd need partners, other investors, maybe management team members who join your bid. I made notes. What's the first step? Build your profile. Establish yourself as an independent operator. Leave the company. Prove you can generate value outside their structure. Then approach them when they're ready to sell. How long? PE firm at 7 years? They'll want to exit within 12 to 18 months. You'd need to be ready when they go to market. I nodded. I'll prepare. 10 business days later, HR sent their response. After reviewing the documentation and conducting interviews, we have determined that the market expansion initiative involved contributions from multiple team members, including yourself and Jason Mitchell. While you performed significant analytical work, strategic leadership and client engagement were collaborative efforts. We will add a note to your performance file acknowledging your analytical contribution to the project. We consider this matter resolved. A note in my file. Not a correction to the announcement. Not an amendment to Jason's promotion justification. Resolved. I read it twice. Then I replied, "Thank you for the review. I accept your findings. I have no further questions on this matter." Professional, compliant, closed. Then I opened a new document, started drafting my resignation letter. I didn't resign immediately. I spent 6 weeks preparing. During that time, I identified 3 clients I'd worked with closely: institutional investors, asset managers, companies that valued analytical rigor. I couldn't solicit them, but I documented every interaction I'd had with them, every analysis I'd delivered, every recommendation I'd made that generated value. I also tracked the company's performance. Revenue continued flat. 2 clients had left in the past quarter. Jason's strategic vision had produced no measurable results. I contacted Richard Chen weekly, updated him on my preparation, discussed structure options for eventual acquisition, and I watched the private equity firm, monitored their portfolio, looked for signs of exit planning. 3 months after Jason's promotion, I submitted my resignation. 2 weeks' notice. Clean letter. Dear Marcus, after careful consideration, I have decided to pursue opportunities outside the company. My last day will be November 15th. I appreciate the opportunities I've had here and will ensure a smooth transition of my current projects. Sincerely, Michelle Porter. No explanation, no accusations, no emotion. Marcus called me within an hour. Michelle, I'm surprised. Can we discuss this? I've made my decision, but thank you for the opportunity to talk. Is this about the market expansion situation? It's about my career progression. I don't see the path I'm looking for here. We value your work. What would it take to keep you? I don't think that's possible, but I appreciate the question. He paused. Jason's been struggling in the director role. I know you deserved that promotion. That's not why I'm leaving. Then why? I want to build something. I don't see that opportunity here. The call ended. He optioned. My last day was quiet. I handed off my projects, documented everything, left my laptop and badge with IT. Jason didn't say goodbye. Neither did I. I walked out at 4:30 p.m, went home, opened my laptop, started building my own firm. I called it Porter Analytics, solo practice, business strategy and financial analysis for institutional clients. I registered the LLC, set up the infrastructure, built a website, created a service portfolio. Then I waited 6 months. The non-compete required 12, but I needed 6 months before I started any outreach. During those 6 months, I monitored my former company. Revenue declined 11%, 3 more clients left. The private equity firm hired an investment bank they were preparing to sell. I contacted Richard Chen. "They're going to market," I said. "I saw. Are you ready?" "I have a track record now. 6 months operating independently. I've built analysis frameworks for 2 clients, generated measurable results. No solicitation of former clients." "You'll need more capital." "I know." "Who do I talk to?" He made introductions. 3 potential partners. Investors who specialised in management buyouts of small financial services firms. I pitched them individually, same presentation, professional, data-driven. My thesis: the firm was undervalued due to poor recent performance. The performance decline was attributable to leadership changes that removed top analytical talent. With proper management, the firm could return to growth. Evidence: my track record on the market expansion initiative, the timing of client departures relative to my leaving, the analytical capabilities I'd demonstrated in my independent practice. 2 investors passed. One was interested. Her name was Caroline Shu. She ran a fund focused on financial services turnarounds. "I like the thesis," she said. "You're credible. You know the operations. You have relationships with the client base, even if you haven't contacted them." "What's your concern?" "Capital structure. The PE firm will want 8 to 10 million. You have 840,000. I could put in 2 million. We'd still need 4 to 6 million more, likely through debt financing." "Is that feasible?" "For the right deal structure, yes. But you'd need to retain some of the existing team. You can't run this alone." "I know the team. I can identify who's valuable." "Then let's build a bid." We spent 3 months preparing. Due diligence, financial modelling, team assessment, operational planning. The PE firm's investment bank ran a formal process. 3 rounds of bidding, 5 initial bidders. We were the smallest. Round 1, indication of interest. We bid $8.5 million. 2 other bidders went higher. Round 2, detailed proposal. We emphasised management continuity and operational improvement. We presented my background, highlighted the correlation between my departure and performance decline. Round 3, final bids. We offered $9.2 million. Structure: $840,000 from me, $2 million from Caroline's fund, $6.36 million in debt financing secured against company assets. Management team: me as CEO, 3 existing team members retained in senior roles, Jason's position eliminated. We submitted May 7th. The PE firm took 4 weeks to decide. On June 4th, their investment banker called Caroline. "You're not the highest bid, but you're the strongest on operational continuity. The firm's founders like the idea of keeping it local with someone who knows the business. They're selecting you." We closed June 30th. I became CEO and majority owner of the company I'd left 8 months earlier. My first day back, I called an all-hands meeting. The team gathered, confused, uncertain. Some hadn't known I was the acquiring party. I stood at the front of the conference room. The same room where Jason had presented his strategic vision using my work. I kept it brief. I'm Michelle Porter. I'm the new CEO. Some of you worked with me before, some of you are new since I left. Here's what you need to know. This company has strong analytical capabilities and valuable client relationships. We've underperformed recently. That changes now. I'll be meeting with each department this week. We'll review operations, identify improvements, and rebuild our growth trajectory. If you're committed to excellent work, you have a future here. If you're not, we'll help you transition out professionally. Questions? One hand went up. Marcus, my former department head. What about current leadership? We're restructuring. New org chart will be distributed tomorrow. Some roles are being eliminated, some are changing. You'll be notified individually. I saw Jason in the back. His expression was unreadable. The meeting ended. The new org chart eliminated the Director of Strategic Analytics position. Jason was offered a senior analyst role, same level he'd been at before his promotion, different department.
He declined. Resigned 2 days later. I signed his exit paperwork. Professional. Clean. We never discussed the market expansion initiative. We never discussed his promotion. We never discussed attribution. There was nothing to discuss. The org structure had resolved it. 6 months later, the company had stabilised. Revenue up 8%. 2 lost clients had returned. 1 new client signed. I hired 3 new analysts, all strong performers, all properly credited for their work. The market expansion initiative was still referenced in client presentations, updated now, extended, improved. The methodology section listed the original framework developer, Michelle Porter, CEO. Accurate, documented, permanent. I sat in my office one evening, the corner office, the one that used to belong to the founder. My laptop was open, financial reports on screen, projections for next quarter. The company was mine. The work was mine. The future was mine. I closed the laptop, looked out at the Atlanta skyline. The work continued, exactly as it should.